There was a time when the earth breathed, not metaphorically, not spiritually. It truly breathed. The skies inhaled radiation from distant stars, the oceans carried heat through the planet's veins, and beneath the crust, deep within the molten chambers of the world, an invisible circulation moved endlessly, like blood through a living body. That circulation was ether. Modern humanity would have called it impossible. Ancient civilizations simply called it nature. For millions of years, Earth existed beneath a luminous atmospheric layer that converted cosmic radiation, solar energy, and geothermal force into a stable planetary substance known as mana. The ether cycle surrounded the world like a second atmosphere, invisible to ordinary sight, yet present in every storm, every mountain range, every ocean current. The planet was alive because ether allowed it to be alive. Mana enriched the soil, strengthened gravity fields, stabilized tectonic movement, and accelerated biological evolution beyond normal physical limits. Life on Earth did not evolve slowly under the ether cycle. It transformed. Forests grew so vast that clouds became trapped within their upper branches. Entire oceans glowed beneath moonlight because microscopic organisms absorbed excess mana directly from seawater. Creatures larger than modern buildings walked across the central plains of the first continent, while winged leviathans drifted through thermal currents above them. And among those countless forms of life, intelligent civilizations emerged. Not one civilization, many. The Earth humanity inherited was never built for humans alone. Long before recorded history, before the continents fractured apart, the planet existed as a single massive landmass, stretching from horizon to horizon. Ancient races crossed enormous kingdoms without ever touching an ocean. Mountains connected nations, forests concealed cities older than memory itself. The elder races thrived beneath the ether cycle. The elves of the winter, Eastern canopy kingdoms, shaped entire ecosystems through resonance songs that guided the growth of living forests. Their cities were not constructed, but grown from silver-barked trees that reached higher than modern skyscrapers. Far beneath the tectonic mantle, the dwarves carved civilizations into glowing underground caverns where rivers of geothermal heat powered resonance forges capable of creating metals unknown to modern science. The giant clans ruled the northern fault ranges, their enormous bodies naturally resistant to mana pressure levels that would instantly crush human organs. Ancient records claimed their footsteps alone could trigger avalanches across entire mountain chains. Beastkin tribes roamed the eastern wildlands, possessing senses so refined they could hear storms forming beyond the horizon days before rainfall reached the continent. There were countless others, species modern humanity would eventually reduce to folklore: spirits, seaborne civilizations beneath abyssal trenches, winged nomads who crossed atmospheric currents like migrating birds, creatures capable of existing partially outside physical matter itself. The world was not peaceful, but it was alive, and in that living world existed humanity, small, fragile, forgettable. Humans possessed no natural ether affinity. Their bodies struggled to absorb mana efficiently. Compared to the elder races, humans were physically inferior in nearly every measurable way. They lacked elven longevity, dwarven resilience, the strength of giants, the instincts of beastkin. Even their lifespans seemed cruelly short beside the immortal kingdoms surrounding them. Most races viewed humanity with indifference, others with pity, a few with amusement. But humanity possessed one trait no other species fully understood. Humans adapted faster than anything else on Earth. While elder civilizations mastered harmony with the world, humanity mastered survival within it. Humans learned quickly, observed relentlessly, copied without shame. Where elves shaped living wood through ether resonance, humans studied structural engineering. Where dwarves forged resonance alloys through mana compression, humans developed mechanical metallurgy. Humanity could not wield mana naturally, so they learned to replace it. Centuries passed. Human civilization expanded rapidly across the southern plains of the first continent. Human cities multiplied faster than any elder race predicted possible. Kingdoms rose and collapsed within mere generations, while immortal civilizations barely changed at all. And slowly, admiration became resentment. The more humanity advanced, the more obvious the imbalance appeared. Why should immortality belong only to elves? Why should giants possess natural strength greater than entire human armies? Why should dwarves command technologies humanity could never replicate? Why had the world itself chosen favorites? Questions became anger. Anger became obsession. Entire human kingdoms devoted themselves to understanding the ether cycle. Scholars, kings, philosophers, and scientists searched desperately for methods to equalize humanity with the elder races. Then, somewhere in the frozen south, humanity discovered something it was never meant to find. Antarctica was not always frozen. Before the collapse, the southern pole contained one of the largest ether convergence zones on the planet, a place where planetary ether currents flowed close enough to the surface to distort gravity, climate, and biological growth itself. Buried beneath the southern ice stood colossal structures older than recorded civilization. No one knew who built them. Not elves, not dwarves, not even the oldest giant clans claimed knowledge of their origin. The structures predated all known species. At the center of those ruins, ancient humans uncovered a truth capable of reshaping the world. The ether cycle was not invincible. Earth's mana conversion process relied on planetary resonance, a delicate equilibrium between the atmosphere, the crust, solar radiation, and the ether layer surrounding the world. If that resonance could be interrupted, mana density across the entire planet would begin to fall. At first, the discovery horrified humanity's scholars. Then it tempted them, because for the first time in history, humanity possessed a weapon capable of threatening every elder race simultaneously. Human philosophers justified it as balance. Kings saw opportunity. Generals saw conquest. And somewhere beyond the ether veil surrounding Earth, something else was listening. The oldest forbidden texts described voices emerging from resonance experiments beneath Antarctica. Human researchers exposed to unstable ether frequencies began hearing whispers during sleep. Entire laboratories descended into madness after prolonged contact with deep southern ruins. The voices promised knowledge, power, freedom from the elder races. They called themselves many things across different civilizations, but history would remember them by one name: demons. Not creatures born from fire or darkness, but entities from outside the ether barrier entirely, intelligences that could not naturally enter Earth while the planetary ether cycle remained stable. Humanity never understood that part, or perhaps they simply chose not to care. Deep beneath Antarctica, construction began, a machine unlike anything modern civilization could recreate even thousands of years later: the Severance Engine. Not designed to destroy Earth, designed to interrupt it. The machine stretched for kilometers beneath the southern ice, built around ancient ruins older than humanity itself. Massive resonance pillars descended into the crust, while gravitational stabilizers surrounded a central ether interference core, powerful enough to disrupt the planetary cycle. The project consumed entire kingdoms. Most elder races never realized what humanity was building until it was already too late. And by then, humanity had convinced the forests still breathed. The earth still lived for a little while longer.